Is that what you DM his mom? Whoa. All right, shut up. Hello. Welcome to episode 1 of the Backlog Boys Club. With you, as always, the golden boy himself, Omar, the child predator, Alex,
Excuse me?
and the hobo, Sam.
Why am I a child predator?
Because you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, that's why.
Because you didn't want to clap for me, you lazy sack of shit. You have your hand in your pocket, too.
I do too.
Holding me
Oh,
comfortable.
I didn't notice.
You know?
Yeah, I'm the only official one over here. Anyways, this is episode 1, Uncharted. From our last episode, we chose this one as to be this episode's main talking point. But before that, I gotta ask, what's going on with you guys?
I'm doing all right. I don't know. I just got done eating pizza with you guys.
I'm getting a cramp.
I'm
too excited.
I'm looking over and Omar's freaking out all of a sudden.
Dude, his cock is out. His cock is
His
hanging
cock
out.
just slipped through his shorts.
He's so small.
Cover it up.
Dude, put on the blanket.
Fuck.
You okay?
Yeah, I can't sit cross or Indian style. What are the hoes called?
So like I was
Crossing
saying,
Indians.
What's up with you, Sam?
I was just saying that I was kind of full. We just ate some pizza.
Little Caesars, not sponsored.
Some Little Caesars pizza. They were in
Pizza.
that weird Batman box. Also,
dated.
did you, Alex? Did you order special pizza? Because that was like
No.
it was like well done. Like it was a little burnt.
No, that's just how they gave it to
Little
us.
Caesars just hit or miss.
Yeah,
Sometimes those burn their fucking shit.
Yes.
Other times they won't like cook it all the way.
yeah, that was weird.
I still say that. Little Caesars, when it's good, it's like better than most pizzas.
It's up there.
It's
But when it's bad, it's like it's $5. So
Yeah.
again, bang for your buck. I think it's
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah. But aside from that, yeah, I've kind of just been chilling. I have just been recently going through the Star Wars movies with my girlfriend. So we just watched Return of the Jedi today, and it's pretty fun. Except I'm watching the special edition versions on Disney Plus, and there's some weird musical number at the beginning in Jabba's palace that, honestly, I hate that scene. It actually not ruins the movie for me, but like it makes it.
It ruined your time.
Yeah, it makes it much less. Makes me much less interested in watching it again because I'd rather watch Empire at that point.
It's redundant.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But Alex, how you doing?
Well, I actually I have two things I want to talk to you guys about. One of them being it's
Pokeball.
it's Pokemon Day. Yeah.
Yeah.
We just got an announcement for Gen 9 Pokemon Scarlet and
Wait, did it
Pokemon
really?
Violet. Yeah.
Are you? Oh, I thought you were.
No,
making a bit.
Omar, you're the big Pokemon guy with me. What? I thought you would have known about
Yeah,
this.
there's
I don't. I'm not on social media. I don't use social media.
Yeah, but I thought you would care. There's all this
Yeah.
Pokemon stuff around your room.
I literally bathe in Pokemon,
How did you not know about this?
but I came out of work.
Dude,
Like I haven't done anything. Like,
Okay.
I just got out of work and then I got here. Then we set up.
Once we're done recording this, that's something for you to look at.
Yeah, we'll show you the trailer for that.
Yeah,
but
It'd be fun if you can edit like me typing like Pokemon. What's the new Pokemon thing just came out?
But yeah, no, there's
What was it called? Sorry.
Scarlet and Violet.
Actually, I like that.
Yeah, no,
They
but
stopped doing the
the
fucking
new water starter is my favorite.
Oh, they showed that already.
Yeah, it looks
Wow,
like
I'd have to do it.
it looks like Donald Duck.
Yeah.
And you already know that's what I'm picking.
Is that the picture you sent us? Like,
Yeah, that's what I just showed you, yeah.
like 2 seconds ago.
Yeah. Do you think
That's actually what he looked
Yeah.
like. I thought that was you joking.
Do you
No.
think it looks like Donald Duck?
No, yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
does. Yes.
Okay, yeah, and so the other thing I want to talk to you guys about is that Netflix announced that they're making a BioShock live action TV show, and what do you guys think about that?
Wait, like the original one? Like,
Yeah.
What? Really?
Well-
Wait, aren't you? Well, no, go ahead.
From what I know, it's just that they have the rights to make either a
Oh
TV
no, they're making
show.
it.
Oh, did they announce that they're doing the TV
yeah,
show?
like within the last week.
Okay. Well, that's different now. Okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, the first BioShock game is kind of tied into the fact that it's a video game. Like, I feel like making it a TV show.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
I feel like making a TV show is going to take the impact away from the actual.
Well, they might
story.
do like we'll talk about later. Uncharted, like they won't probably maybe they won't just do exactly game for game.
My
you know what I mean?
main problem with it is that it's a first person like shooter type of game, and you need a protagonist, and there is a protagonist. His name is Jack, but it's not gonna work if we can see what Jack looks like. I feel like that kills the immersion in Bioshock.
That's kind of what he was saying. Like it's like the whole
Yeah.
point of the plot of the first one. It's a video game.
But then again, like there's like Halo's coming out, and they say that they're gonna unmask Master Chief multiple times in the show. So
Yeah, that's not a good idea. By the way. I don't think that's good. Just so we're clear. But with Bioshock, I don't know if it can be done well. Like I like The Witcher show on Netflix. It's pretty good.
That's different.
That's
though.
solid.
It is different, but it's still based on something that's already made. So I mean, if they are going with just the original story of Bioshock, I think they could do it fine. I know the Castlevania Netflix show is also pretty good. So
That's not live action. Though.
I feel like
no,
it'll work if they stay away from the game. Like I would like to see like the downfall
An
of
original
Rapture,
stuff?
The downfall.
That's what I was saying. Though.
Yeah, like it's like
It had to be exactly.
they
from the
talk
game.
about it in the game, but we never see it.
Yeah, that would be better. I'd rather watch that than just
Yeah.
the game.
yeah, as like a companion piece to the game, that'd be cool.
So Omar, what's new with you, buddy?
It's funny, right? Because last time we did this bit, which was 2 weeks ago, I'll cut that part out how long ago it was. I'll say the exact same thing I said last time. I just been playing my dirty, inappropriate visual novels that are Jap. Oh no, actually the one I have played isn't actually an American one.
Okay.
Basically, all I do is play visual novels in this very room in the darkness because I'm too embarrassed to have anyone else walk in on me playing these kind of games. That's all I do is play visual novels. I did watch a movie that wasn't Uncharted.
Okay, what movie was
I'm
that?
literally only making this long because I'm trying to remember what movie it was, but I don't remember anymore.
Well, I don't think it matters.
What the heck?
If you can,
I know I watched 2 movies because me and my cousin, we watched it. We paid back to back. What the heck did we watch?
It's probably a boring movie,
It's
like
in the
the Dark,
theaters right
like the
now?
Dark
Yeah.
Knight.
It was the week before Uncharted.
Was
We
it-
watched Uncharted, then we watched one before that.
was it that dog movie? The
No,
one-
the Channing Tatum one. No, that's dumb.
That's
That
an
looks
awful
dumb.
title.
What the heck was it?
Is it like Free Guy or something?
No,
Weird
that
like
came
that.
out a long time ago.
Yeah, but like, what else has
It was in
come out?
theaters.
Dune. That was a while ago too.
That came
That
out in
was
December,
like
right?
a million years ago.
I don't
You
think
talking the Rock one.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it matters if we know what other movie.
I know, but
you
I want to
watched.
remember. Now. That's all I have been doing.
That's
Playing
his
visual
sole mission
novels.
now.
It is. All I do is playing visual novels and playing Uncharted because that's all I have going for me.
Yeah, and can I move on, or are you still trying to figure out what this movie was?
Yeah, what's going on with this, huh?
You know that Juju Kaisen movie's coming out?
I don't Yeah.
I
care.
want to watch that. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just
Oh,
saw-
did you ever tell George to watch that?
What, Jujutsu Kaisen?
Yeah.
I think he started it up. He just watches his own things.
Okay.
That guy just does like
He's his own man, you know.
yeah, he's a freak.
I love him.
All right.
Well, he's your brother.
I don't think it matters that we
No,
know
I
this
know, but I
movie.
care. No, you keep going. Like I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
ask
Sam,
me.
what's your background with Uncharted? What do you know about it? Tell me your backstory with Uncharted.
So I didn't even know this game came out when it first did in 2007, but I distinctly remember playing like a demo for Uncharted 2, I think, at Walmart, because they used to have those kiosks at the game section where it's
Yeah.
like you can break your neck while you're playing a video
You
game.
don't have that now. We're old.
Yeah. God.
No,
Well,
they still can. Some of them.
No.
no, I haven't seen a single Walmart.
Maybe
that does
because
that.
you know the Rona. They might.
Not
That's true,
even
too.
GameStop has them anymore.
Yeah, but yeah, I distinctly remember
Death on
playing
the
it.
Nile. I'm so sorry. Death on the Nile, the murder mystery one. I just saw it right now. That was actually sorry. Okay, you can like. I'm so sorry, but I kind of want to talk about that movie real quick.
Yeah,
Death on the
sure.
Nile. It was actually a pretty fun movie. Have you seen Murder on the Orient Express?
No.
Murder on the Orient Express.
I want to see that.
No.
Because that technically is a sequel to that.
Really?
But it's not really plot related. It's just that the detective is the same guy.
What is that?
The Murder of the Orient Express.
Yeah,
It's
what
like a
is that?
murder.
Never
It's
heard
like
of
a
that
murder
ever?
mystery on
That's
a
like
train,
the
right?
that's like the most It's like the most like famous like I think like murder mystery thing that isn't a Sherlock
I
Holmes.
think it's been parried
And?
to death.
Well, that's a prequel to Death on Nile. Yeah, it is.
So you're saying this is an old ass movie?
No, this movie just came out.
No, no,
Murder on the
Murder on the Orient
No, that
Express.
movie came out like in 2015.
So why is? But is
Think-
it
it's
based
a-
on a book or something?
Yeah, it's a book series, like a really old book series.
Okay.
And this is a sequel, and it's way better than the sequel. But it's so sexy. Like, no, sorry.
So
Sorry. My brain had a stroke.
She dies so sexually.
The movie is sexual as hell. Like the beginning is like Armie Hammer.
Sure.
You don't know who Armie Hammer.
He
Is.
was the Lone Ranger in that weird Disney.
Yeah, he
remake.
is. Yeah, I forgot he did that.
Yeah.
His and his girlfriend have like a weird opening sex dance. Like they're basically like grinding on each other. But it's supposed to be based off like the 1940s, but they're dancing like they're now.
Yeah.
And then like later on, him and like Gal Gadot like basically just dry hump.
Okay.
On an Egyptian thing, and I'm like, what is this movie? Well, after that though, like actual murder stuff, it's actually really good. Not Kurt Russell, Russell Brand.
Get him to the Greek.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
He's in the movie, and he's actually serious. He's not funny. Like, he's actually a serious actor. It's actually really good. His part's really good.
Okay.
Anyways, that's what I've been doing. Let's pretend like I said that when I actually said that. Use the
You
power
had
of
to say
editing.
it.
I'm not editing that back in.
You're so mean.
I'm gonna have you cut me off because I'm upset about that. Anyway,
I wasn't listening. That's why. So I kind of want you to repeat it.
Yeah, and guess what?
I'm just kidding.
I wasn't
remember.
listening to your
I remember
conversation.
everything you said.
What's your backstory?
No,
on
I know what he said. I was listening. You said you played on the Code Geass.
your demo.
Just so we're clear, I didn't listen to a thing Omar
You
said
did it on
about Death on the
purpose, though.
Nile.
You did it on purpose, though.
Anyway,
I listened to you.
I didn't do it on purpose, but I did listen.
I don't care
I can
about-
tell you. I can tell you everything you said.
I don't care.
You said you played it on the Code Geass at the Walmart
Yeah,
when you were 7 years old.
yeah. I actually was 7 because that game came out in 2007.
See,
but
I
wait a
wasn't
minute.
lying.
But wait a minute. I was gonna say that demo wasn't for the first Uncharted. I think it was for Uncharted 2.
Do you know the
Because the scene for that demo was like I was running away from like a semi truck or something like that, and that didn't happen. So it has to have been for another one.
definitely the first one.
Not the first one because
We
that
played it.
did not happen in the first one. But yeah, I played that demo and then I just never thought about Uncharted again until I got a PS3 like in 2012, like way after it was relevant. And that one came with Uncharted 3, and I watched my brother play that one, and then I didn't care about Uncharted until Uncharted 4, and then I watched my brother play that one. So I've never actually played an Uncharted game until now.
Really?
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I've played, like, sections, but I've never played through an entire Uncharted game
Dude,
until
I got
now.
into Uncharted because of you.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Is that the end of your story, or can I?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No. So when I first got a PS3, like in 2012, around that same time, you had me and one of our friends install the Uncharted 3 multiplayer because they were doing oh, you could play free for this week or something like that.
Right.
And so we did that. We played a couple rounds, and I'm like, this is actually fun. I don't normally like shooters, but I was having a blast with this free trial of Uncharted 3's multiplayer that you had us install.
I totally forgot that game had a multiplayer.
And then after that, I'm like, oh, this game is so fun. I need to get the rest of them. And like you, I didn't get them till like right before Uncharted 4 came out. But I played them. I beat the first one. I loved it. I sped through the other ones, and then I was ready for Uncharted 4 when that came out. And Uncharted 4 is honestly top 10 of my favorite games.
Wow. I honestly.
All time?
Yeah.
I mean, I can believe that.
Uncharted 4 is a
How
really
does
good
that
game.
make sure?
But yeah, I guess I did play a lot of that old multiplayer for Uncharted 3. That was really fun.
Yeah.
That was the same thing. Like Naughty Dog was like also had Last of Us multiplayer.
That was fun though.
Yeah,
I
like
that
there's
one.
like let's just add a multiplayer to this very single
Uncharted
player
4
game.
had a multiplayer too. That one was actually pretty fun.
was-
I played that one for a bit.
It was fun, but Uncharted 3 had those like lab maps where it's just like, here's this unconventional, like impossible map, like run around. Or there was one that was like grenade volleyball, where because you could toss back grenades in that
Yeah.
game. So it was just, you were just tossing
throwing them back
grenades.
and
Yeah,
forth.
that was fun. But yeah, Omar, what's your experience with Uncharted?
So me being a PlayStation guy, probably my whole life. More my brother because obviously he's older than me by a lot. I actually never heard of Uncharted until PlayStation Sony All Stars because they have all the Sony exclusive characters in them. And I was like, why is there like
Shitty
one regular
exclusive
guy in this? And his name was Nathan Drake. And I'm like, what the hell? Why is he here? And I thought it was like Snake from like Smash Brothers. I was like, why is this like regular dude in this like fantasy like wacky characters? And then it turns out my brother had all three of the games. I never know because I'm not. That was like the few times I didn't watch my brother play games. I was old enough not to like watch him. Like I would just play my own games. But he played them all. And I never seen any gameplay of it though. But I've seen clips of like, you know, the famous clips of like the plane scene or like those kind of things. But I've never like seen actual gameplay of it. Like my brother played it with me. And obviously 4 came out on the PS4. And obviously everyone was like, oh, it's the last one or whatever. I thought the game was already, I thought the series was over by the third
last
one.
one.
I didn't know it was yeah. Like I thought the third one was the last one, honestly. I didn't know there was going to be another one. And the fourth one came out and I was still kind of like, who cares? I shrugged, sorry. You can't visually see. I audibly shrugged. But I was like, yeah, who cares? But then the movie came out. No. It's one of those things where like, it's one of those games like it's a PlayStation only, or Sony only kind of thing. It's like everyone says it's the best, it's really good. So I was like, oh, maybe one day I'll play it. And now that we're kind of doing this, I'm like, that was like the last like push to be like, yeah, go play the stinky game already.
That
Why don't you?
and your love of Tom Holland.
Yeah, Tom Holland's your favorite actor, right?
Yeah, after I watched Spirited Away,
Featuring Tom Holland.
yes, featuring Tom Holland. He's actually in it.
Little
I
did
actually
you
don't
know.
think he's in. Actually,
No,
Dude,
he's not.
is he not? I don't know. I've never seen those movies. Tom Holland is my favorite actor that I thought was American but isn't.
He's British.
He's a British boy.
I love him.
He's like the other Spider-Man.
How did you
guy.
not know he was British?
Same way I didn't know Andrew Garfield was British.
But Andrew Garfield has a convincing American accent.
So does Tom Holland.
doesn't. No.
Tom Holland sounds like a normal dude.
he does sound
He
like
sounds
like a
very
regular
British
guy.
to me. He tries
No.
to sound American, and I'm like, I can hear.
All right, linguistics
British.
master, whatever.
Communications major over
Yeah,
here.
oh, that's a one college
Yeah.
class.
Yeah.
Fucking loser. Wasting money. Speaking of wasting money, Uncharted, a video game. I had to buy it. I don't know if you guys already own the game or not. Before.
Yeah,
Did you already have the PS4, like
Yes,
Uncharted collection? It's called
I-
the Drake collection, right?
Nathan Drake collection. I
Nathan
picked that
Drake.
up like because they released it right after before Uncharted 4, and I picked it up so I could play them all before that came out.
Yeah, I bought it, so fully intending to play those games, and then I just never did, and the rest of my family played the game, and when I told them I hadn't played it yet, they all made fun of me.
They all harassed you. They said the Uncharted boy.
They're like, "Did you really spend $60 to buy this game
Well,
that
you
you
guys
never
paid
played?"
60.
Yeah, I mean, I think we bought it around
was
launch.
new, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah, literally, I technically own all three of the first three on the PS3 because my brother had them, and I didn't want to play them on PS3, so I just bought the PS4 one like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and it only cost $20.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I technically didn't waste that much money.
we paid 60.
You guys paid. Well, to be fair, it's 3 games,
Yeah.
and we haven't played the other 2 ones, but Uncharted. The actual game, the first one, Drake's Fortune. I didn't know it had a like another word to it.
Until I reminded you like a while ago.
Yeah, and then I actually play the game and it tells you, oh, it's Drake's Fortune or whatever. And playing that game, first of all, I don't know anything about its history. Well, some nerdy loser does, and I'd rather not pretend like I know shit.
So you mean the history about like the background of Uncharted?
Yes, because I literally only remember 2007 because the game tells you on the bottom.
Oh, I know that
Yeah.
it's made by Naughty Dog.
Yeah. Okay.
Obviously.
So Naughty Dog was previously known in the 90s for Crash Bandicoot for the first 3 games and Crash CTR.
Another bad game.
Those games are great. I love them. They were my childhood.
Never played them.
And then in the PS2 era, they had the first Jack and Daxter Precursor Legacy. And then I'm specifically not mentioning the other 2 because I feel like that game is different. Jack 2 is like the first step towards Uncharted, I think, because Jack 2 is really edgy and like trying to be an adult, but still be like for
Childish.
kids. Yeah, so it's like because Jack 1 is E for everyone, but Jack 2 is like we're gonna have guns and
T
you
for
can
teen.
steal cars and there's a girl with a thong showing. Like
Wowzers.
they're trying to be like
That's some 2000 shit.
exactly. So that was the first step, and then after they did, well, I think it was Jack X, the combat racing one. They did.
There was a racing one?
Yeah, it's a car combat one. It's pretty decent, not gonna lie. After they did that, they started working. They wanted to do something bigger and more realistic, so they started Project Big, which was obviously their next big step. And they were kind of messing around with this idea of like this like Tomb Raider or Indiana Jones inspired story. And a lot of the concept art, I don't know if you guys took a look at it in the game. There's a lot of like really cartoony, like Nathan Drake drawings. But then over time, you can see him start developing into a more realistic
Human
person.
person.
Yeah. Nolan North.
So I'm kind of curious if they were originally like it was originally gonna be like a cartoony like Indiana
I mean,
Jones
their
style.
track record, it kind of seemed like they're probably going to
Well,
be.
Yeah.
that's obviously not them today.
No.
Well, not now.
Yeah.
But back then, all they did was shit like
Yeah,
that.
but from
so.
like knowing Naughty Dog from what I know today, I would never expect like the cartoonish games.
Yeah. But they originally, from what I remember, I don't research this to double check, but I'm pretty sure the final name Uncharted wasn't decided until like really close before the announcement. So they were almost gonna call it officially Dude Raider for a while
That's goofy.
because they were just like, whatever, like
cares?
That's a lawsuit waiting.
this is the project name.
Dude Raider.
And like a couple weeks, I think, before they finally revealed it, they finally put out, all right, we're going to call it Uncharted. This is what it is.
They're like, guys, I told my wife Dude Raider. Let's just say I'm sleeping in the sofa, so we got to change this damn name. We got to pick something else, guys.
Yeah, and they released it, and it was like one of the biggest games on their platform for a while. PS3 had a really rough launch. You know, they had that awful reveal where it was like, what was it, $6.99 or something like that. That was the
$6.99
price.
for like like 50 gigs, right?
Yeah, it was like barely anything. There was that infamous like clip of the guy going like, "Oh, this is a game based off of feudal Japanese history," and then it cuts to him fighting a giant enemy crab. There's a scene, a clip from that E3 press conference where this guy's just going like Ridge Racer, and like no one cares. Like PS3 was rough at the beginning. So Uncharted was the big like game to buy the system for.
Save them.
Yeah, and I mean it worked out because they ended up making enough to push them to make the sequel and then the third one, and it just became the next
sequel to the PS3.
Yeah, it just became a big franchise for Naughty Dog and kind of led them to what they are now.
Yep.
But generally speaking, like, what are your guys' thoughts on the game?
Okay.
Can
I'll let Alexander.
Can I start off with my biggest?
Because he was
Okay.
ready.
Sure.
So on my notes here, I added a question mark because I don't know if I just couldn't find the right button for it, or if it wasn't there.
Sure.
Am I just stupid or something? But was there no running button?
There is no run
Okay.
button.
No, there is.
No.
There is?
Yeah, L3.
No,
L3 is
I
no,
tried
L3 you
it.
switch your like.
No, it doesn't.
Yes,
Yeah,
it switches your
Sam, there was
gun.
no running button.
You want to know why I know that? Because I was having an issue with my controller where when I would press L3, you would start shooting for no reason. Like, that controller was busted. I switched it out, and yeah, I was able to sprint. Because there's a puzzle that you have to, like, outrun something, and I couldn't beat it because I couldn't sprint.
I didn't have an issue with
There's
it.
a sprint button in that game.
But isn't there literally a game mode in the thing when
That
you
makes
beat it
it
that
fast,
says you
right?
can run?
Yeah.
So I think there is no. Literally, I wrote like chapter 2. Wish there was a run button. There is no run button.
I'm 90% sure there's a run button.
I'm
dude.
90% sure there isn't.
There
one.
isn't.
Then I had some crazy placebo effect because I was struggling in a puzzle because I couldn't outrun something.
I never had a single
Yeah,
issue with
because
running.
When I was like,
'Cause there
playing,
was none.
Because like I said, I love Uncharted 4. I've played it probably multiple times. That game has a running button. I'm pretty sure it's either the click L3 or it's the R1. And I
I
tried
tried to reload.
but I'm talking Uncharted 4.
Oh,
Yeah, because I know that game has a run button, and it's one of those buttons. So I tried it on this, and nothing worked.
L3 when you aim, it just switches what direction.
yeah,
what,
but
like
when you're not zoomed in, when you're just walking around clicking out,
there's
makes
no
you sprint.
way.
He just walks the whole time, like a light jog.
yeah, he light jogs.
When we're done with this, I'm gonna pull up the game. I swear.
you say you as in like it's your house, as I'm gonna have to pull it.
I'm gonna force Omar to pull
Add
up
it on
game.
the screen.
Yeah,
Put it in post.
put it in post.
Put that as our first Twitter thing. Well, you actually run. So
Run,
look
dude.
at that, man.
What else, Alex? Like,
So you got outvoted that
Yeah.
there is no run button.
I'm like, I swear to God, there's a run
I don't know,
button.
I just found it really funny.
The fact that no, that's still a bad point. Then, and that's the fact that we didn't know that. And say it is true that there is a run button,
Yeah.
and we didn't know that. But the game tells you everything else. It's like, why does it make any sense?
That is, yeah, good point.
So another thing that like caught my eye was that I thought it was very funny how every time you die, there's like a variation of your partner character just yelling Nate,
Drake.
I love that.
Sometimes they're just silent. They just look at your dead body.
they,
They're
they just do like
"Oh,
a
he's
little
dead."
scream like no.
Yeah,
There are some times where Elena just doesn't say anything. She just looks
She
at
just
me. She looked
watches
at my
you
body. And I was
die.
like, aren't you like, are you gonna be sad? Like, damn. I thought the death animation was really funny because it's like it's half ragdoll, half not. You kind of like T-pose and die.
Yeah.
And then it just cuts to immediately the save point back. Like there's no like you're dead, game over,
There were-
continue.
so-
You just
so-
die and then you
yeah.
automatically just spawn back in.
There were some times where you would die and he just lay there instead of like going into ragdoll.
Yeah, he
mode.
would just like fall down really bad, and then it would like Nate, and then you're dead, and then the game automatically loads you back where you started.
I don't know about you guys, but I really didn't like dying in this game because I felt like it was just a huge waste of time.
I
Like,
died so many times.
Yeah.
I died so. I wish I kept.
Not
going.
in combat, but like trying to do the puzzles. 'cause-
I'd say 40, 60.
I would get frustrated so much.
There was. Oh well, it's the worst one I had was. It's a spoiler. It's the last one.
Okay, we'll talk about that.
That's
later.
this is a spoiler free section, so like you can listen to this without having to play this game. But my biggest thing is the controls.
oh,
It
so whack.
sucks. It's obviously not that bad, but like obviously going from like our current games and then going to like a 2007 like what is it, PS3 game
Yeah,
or whatever. It's so janky. The aiming is atrocious.
Oh, the aiming's not that bad.
I think it's terrible.
I think the worst part was when you're like doing the puzzles, you're trying to climb to the next brick, and it looks like he's reaching out like he's gonna grab something, but there's nothing there. I'm like, why did you reach out then? You're telling me there's something I can grab onto there.
I have a
He
whole
just
bit
falls
about
down.
that part a bit. I'll say that in a second. But the other issue I had was the circle button, which is the get behind cover. But sometimes like I'll like, because I do it because again I didn't know if there is a run button. At the time I didn't know there's a run button. I would do circle to roll so you can kind of move faster.
Oh, that's because.
But sometimes it would like kind of glitch and like it would teleport you to the closest like point you can cover.
I've never
and it'll
had
like
that.
spaz out, and then I'll be like in front of a cover, and I'll be like, "What? I didn't even know that was a cover." And like I couldn't get out of it. And I just got gunned down and like died immediately or whatever.
That was not my biggest issue. My biggest issue, like in my notes, I wrote down, "Am I stupid?" Because there were so many times where a puzzle would start, and I'm like, "What do you want me to do?" Like, there's so many puzzles where I knew exactly. All right, like these are the clues I need. I need to do something with these things.
And sometimes they'll just be like, "The Notebook," like go to say it immediately, and I'm like, I wonder what I have to do.
Sam,
Look at the
Sam, you're
Notebook.
that player that waits for the hint button.
I was waiting
Some
for
of
it,
them,
and it
some of them
wasn't-
I had to
No.
because it just some of the shit doesn't make fucking tell anything.
I'm probably because I don't know. I remember all the puzzles.
I think it's like the first puzzle. The first puzzle. Because you're like climbing around a room to try to like hit objects or whatever. I can't remember what exactly we were doing, but I didn't know you needed to climb around the room. Like I just thought you had to do something with the floor panels that had the symbols on it. And I was just like sitting there for like 10 minutes. Like, what am I doing here? And then it didn't give me a hint button. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, I asked my girlfriend, Riley, I was like, hey, you beat this, right? What do I have to do? Like, help me. There was that one. And there was another one where right after a combat section, I didn't know where to go. Like the game didn't like drag the camera. Oh, I should go open this door. Like I wandered around for like 10 minutes hoping the game would eventually tell me where to go.
If you don't move, the game I think tells you.
Does it do that?
Because I left it like on standby for a minute.
That's the
So I was
hint
on my
button,
phone, and then it'll be like hint button. You have to hit the D on, and it'll just be like dong, and then you get to push it, and it'll be like, oh yeah, that door looks stupid.
It wouldn't
And
tell
you're
you what to do. It'll like
like, no, it'll just like it'll point you the direction.
it'll move your camera saying, "Hey, this looks kinda,
Even then, sometimes I'd be like,
this
what does
looks
that
kind of
mean?
funky."
I don't know. I just felt so stupid playing this game. I was like, this really shouldn't be that hard. Why am I struggling with this?
Well, I think because I'm the only one here that's played it before, I kind of just knew all the puzzles already, and I didn't struggle as much. There was one point where I struggled because the point is this a spoiler?
Well, it's an end game
Depends.
thing.
It's not a story thing, but you had to climb a tower at some point.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
not spoiling.
And
That's just saying
it
thing.
didn't tell you how, or you didn't. It wasn't obvious, and then I had to wait for the camera, and it pointed me to like a ledge, and I'm like, okay, but how do I get to that ledge? And I
I
eventually,
think I might know which one you're talking
eventually,
about.
I figured
think.
it out.
No, some of the I'm not gonna lie. The puzzles, it's not even that it's hard. It's just that like they just don't tell you anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I won't lie. Like I don't listen all the time, but they'll say once and then they'll never say anything again. Maybe because like that's our like new age game brains. That like every like if you don't do it for like 1 second, the character will constantly keep repeating, being like, "Hey, the door, Nathan, hey Nathan, the door." Like that. Honestly, like when you do that, you're like, that's annoying. But like they say it once, they'll be like, "Oh, the door." And then there's complete dead silence. No one will say absolutely anything until like you start doing
You
shit.
just gotta wait a minute, and they'll keep starting repeating it.
I've never heard them talk
I know
again.
because like I left it on idle for a bit because I want to go use the bathroom, and like it was like one of those points where it tells you to look at the book, and then Nate's always like, "There was something about that in that book," and it just kept
Okay, maybe
repeating.
the book stuff. I'm thinking more of like when you're outside, and I think more parkour.
Okay,
Because like they don't say anything and they don't really point at anything, and that's another big point I have. I forgot what chapter I broke. I don't remember which one it was, but literally, it's also like from that same point I was mentioning with the puzzles. Half of that map looked the exact same, like color scheme. Everything looked gray, so I couldn't tell what is parkourable and what isn't because everything looks the same. So I'll be like, so when I'm on a point, I'm like, where do I jump? Because like everything looks the exact same color, and then like it'll be like a little bump, and I'm like, I can jump that? Like, how is that possible?
Omar, I think I know what part you're talking about, and here's a little thing with Naughty Dog games. If you see something off color,
I can't though. Like the first, maybe later games it looks better, but the first game is so color gradely terrible.
But in the first game, they usually use green or yellow to tell you like, oh, you could probably climb that.
Like this game,
Yeah.
like my thoughts of this game is like obviously it's trying to be realistic until a certain point. Spoiler talk later. It's pretty realistic, and I do commend it for to feel a little realistic, but it's also a video game.
Yeah.
And like I don't care if the color scheme of this like whatever building I'm on is all gray. Like I can't tell when it's dark, everything is the same color,
Well,
and I have to assume that all of a sudden Drake has these Nathan Drake has this like inhuman like abilities. Because I see a jump and I'm like, there are points in this game where I see a jump, I'm like, a human can make that, and you can't make that because the game doesn't let you.
And then there's some like
But
really,
then there's a really far one, and the game's like, you have to make that, and I'm like, what? There's a point later on, we'll go out the spoilers, where there's a jump, and I'm like, I can't make that jump, so I'll try to figure out any other way possible, and I learn it is just that jump.
Yeah.
But if you time it 1 second off, you jump like you broke your legs, like, and then you just die, and then you have to restart the whole goddamn thing again. Like, I don't know if that's our like current like mindset of how games are easier now, like, you know, like they just literally like point an arrow at the waypoint you have to do, and the character consciously be like, hey, remember that. But like this game told you very little, looked the same, and expected you to be Nathan Drake basically.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's because it's an older game. I just feel like they weren't very clear a lot of the time.
I give it a pass because it's older though.
Yeah, but I mean, I've played games since the PS1 era, and I don't remember feeling this way.
So again, like the way you said, because you brought it up, and I'm glad you did. Because again, this is like their first time making a serious game.
Yeah, like I said, I told you, Omar, when you were telling me your complaints about the game. It's the first in the series. Like obviously the next ones get better, and they do get better. Like 2 is one of my favorite games. 4 is top 10. Like I said,
I imagine
earlier.
too. Like my brain, like even though I know nothing about the series, my brain was like the second one's probably way better.
It's way better
Because like usually the second game is usually like the better of the series. But let's not talk about gameplay. Let's talk about Alex's favorite thing.
I want to talk about gameplay real quick.
Okay, well, I'm glad I made a great segue and you just enjoyed it.
There was one part that I wanted to address with Sam, because I know Sam's like the big Crash boy, and
Yeah.
every time there was a crash cam in this game, I immediately died. I swear I spent
There's like 2 of them.
There's like 2 crash cams.
I never thought about that until you just said
in
that.
each one,
That
I
makes
died
sense.
multiple times.
I never died.
And
That's
I'm like,
crazy.
Yeah, and I just
They were
died.
so easy.
I've never played Crash. I've
never either. I hated those games.
In Uncharted 4, where they let you play Crash, I couldn't beat that part for a good while.
Oh my god.
And I know Sam's like the big Crash guy, so I want to know, Sam, how easy was that for you?
Pretty easy, but I will say the first time there was like a Crash type reference section, I struggled because of the janky controller, and that's why I know there's a sprint button, because the sprint button wasn't working on that controller, and then the moment I switched, I was like, oh great, I can run now, and I easily beat it. So yeah, those weren't that difficult, especially compared to like, you know, real Crash games.
Those are really easy. I didn't even think they were difficult at all.
No, but it was a nice throwback. I really appreciated that they did that, so you could still see the lineage of those games.
I just remembered another point, and then I'll come back to you what I said originally, but I said this is a perfect segue for Alex. This game, because I know this game is known for like cinematic action scenes that are not quick time events. I didn't think they were quick time events, but there are quick time events in this game. I'm kind of like, I don't really like quick time events in general, but this game does something that I think is very fun, and I know they do better later on. Especially when we talk about the movie, they literally do the thing in the movie where there'll be a cutscene, like say for example, it's like Drake's on a platform and it breaks and it slides down. Like the game isn't like push X now, like you just have to assume you have to jump from that thing to the next one, and like obviously it's like it's all scripted, like who cares? But like it kind of makes you feel like, oh, this is like you're literally like you're not doing a cutscene and pushing a button and watching like a movie happen. Like, you're literally playing the game, and it makes you feel like, oh man, this is like. I would say the first one's not gonna have that many because it's like a new thing. I know the next ones are gonna have way more. Like I don't know. Like I guess they call I don't know if they call them like cutscene.
They're like set pieces.
Yeah, that's a good. That's a better, way better word. A set piece.
Yeah.
Like I think it's like 3. I remember on top of my head. Most of them are just like a thing breaks.
Like give me an
and
example,
like Drake jumps. There's literally one that like it's during when you're climbing the tower, a tower bit. And there's all parkour. There's no more villains anymore. And like you're on top of like a thing, and it breaks because it's old, and you slide down, and then you have to jump from that to the next tower. And it's like there's no quick time event. You just kind of do it because like you're like, oh, my brain's like, I have to jump. Like I don't want to die.
There was one of them was with the bridge, right? Like you're walking off a bridge, and then you have to jump to the rock, and as you're moving through the rock, it breaks down, and you got to move to the next one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I really did like a lot of those set piece things, and like Omar's saying, you know, they obviously get bigger and better, but it's a nice starting off point for this game.
Because like I've never played any Tomb Raider game,
Me
or
neither.
anything like that. But I imagine they don't have that stuff. I could be dead wrong, obviously, because I've never played any of them. But like, I feel like this game was very like. I think you mentioned earlier, Indiana Jones. Like you can feel the Indiana Jones stuff, but minus the whip. That it kind of feels like this game is slowly like you can tell like it's kind of becoming like a movie / video game, and it's fun as opposed to like all you do is just hit X when the game tells you to hit X, and if you mess up you die, and it's like a goofy cutscene or whatever. But like this game is very like for a 2007 game as well to be like fuse this like set piece into the gameplay seamlessly without being like awkward about it or whatever. But minus the worst parts of the game, aka the gameplay. It's about Alex's favorite part, voice acting, because I know Alex loves voice acting.
Well,
we'll talk about acting because that has nothing to do with gameplay.
Well, voice actors. I feel like I'm like well known. I know most of the video game voice actors, where you might know like anime voice actors.
I know the anime ones.
Yeah, but Nolan North has to be one of the best voice actors to come out of Uncharted, because this literally kickstarted the guy's career.
I'd say yes.
Yeah, I vaguely remember seeing an interview where he was talking about how he got the gig. He mostly got it because Naughty Dog wanted to use like CG motion capture. And I guess for a long time in the early 2000s, he like did a lot of motion capture stuff, and he was getting a lot of flack from it. From people in his industry, because they're like, why are you bothered? You're a voice actor. Why do you care to do motion capture at all?
Little did they know.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the main reason he got hired, I'm pretty sure. I'm really glad that he ended up doing that, because I really like Nolan North's performance in this game.
We were talking about this before the pod, aka the Void, that Nolan North mostly plays Nolan North. Like he just does his voice.
It's his voice.
But I think because again, this is like his first time, like in a big thing. Like, that's not really a thing, because like he can't be Nolan North. He's not known as Nolan North at the time. And I think his voice acting is really him. I don't know who does Sully or Elena. Or the other. Oh, sorry, Elena. Sorry, or the other characters. Even though the characters don't really matter that much. It's really just those three that kind of matter. But Nolan, I also like, because this kind of segues to the movie. We'll talk about later. That not Nolan. Nathan Drake. He's like an adult. Like he's like a full-fledged adult.
Yes.
Like I assume in his 30s.
I said mid-20s.
Yeah, mid to late 20s, I would say.
Okay. I mean, again, like he's like an adult or whatever.
Yeah.
And Sully's obviously like some old man or whatever. And I'll talk about Sully more another time. But I do like that the game doesn't go like, this is Nathan Drake and he's this age and he's been hunting treasure for 30 years. And like they explain all this, they really just throw you in the game. And like there really is no backstory. You just assume like Nathan Drake's a nerd because he is a nerd. And solely just like this 2-time like gambling ad. Oh, not gambling. What is it, like a terrible money investor man who's just terrible use of money or whatever. And he's obviously old. And then obviously Elena is just technically a bystander.
I think that one of the first lines for Sully is like that he's in debt and that he should have found, like he's kind of mad that they didn't find any treasure because
he's like, where's the casket?
He's like, I need it.
Yeah. Anymore, buddy. Yeah, I like that. Like it's not like like that's fine. Yeah. You don't need to know his origin story right now. This game isn't really about that. It's about like him finding the said treasure. Yes. I didn't know that like Drake's fortune isn't about Nathan Drake. It's about Francis Drake, his ancestor or whatever.
Yeah.
How do you keep a ring for that many years? That's crazy, right? That's like 500 years.
Yeah, but I mean, it's made out of metal, so I imagine as long as it's kept
I meant someone actually passing it down for 500 years.
Well, people do
someone could have lost it.
I think they allude that
he stole it.
He picked it up somewhere.
That makes more sense. Yeah. I was thinking, like, someone's like, constantly being like, here you go. Here you go,
no.
Here you go. That would have been funny.
It would have been. But speaking on the little tidbits that you find out about these characters, I really liked that you wouldn't find out these details just through cutscenes. Some people make fun of the fact that there's a lot of times in Naughty Dog games, modern Naughty Dog games, where you're just walking around from place to place and there's exposition given to you. But I think especially for the time, like this is a really useful, like, because it's still engaging because you're obviously running around and doing stuff, but you're also learning more about these characters.
Yeah, I agree. It's to bring us to anime really quickly because it reminds me. There's an anime called Monogatari. It's a series called Monogatari, and I love that series. And it's a lot of talking. And obviously, if you're like anime, it's more than video games. Like where there's just standstill, these two characters just sitting and talking. It'd be kind of boring. And I mean, I guess for us, because we have to read subtitles. But other than that, like, there's nothing happening. But that anime, like, they just kind of like throw random funny visuals to kind of entertain your brain as it's going. And in video games, and obviously future Naughty Dog games are more dominant, but in this one, it's not. It's like you're already gonna be moving like with quiet. So like it's kind of fun to like hear like Sully being like, I screwed over Pablo Escobar or whoever he screwed over. But there are times when I got, especially it's the second chapter. I remember this specifically. Is that they force you to walk. You can't run. Like not run, but like you have to walk slowly so you can hear the cutscene. And I was kind of annoyed.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, why does the rest of the cutscenes not have that? But this small one, like obviously it's plot wise, you have to listen, but it's like stop making me not move because now it feels like I'm just in a cutscene, not playing the game anymore.
I've noticed that right before a cutscene starts, you'll be like moving around like medium length, and you just start walking.
Death tall, walking slow like a turtle.
And then the cutscene starts. And honestly, man, the cutscenes kind of like look the CGI for the cutscenes look pretty weird in this first game.
Yeah, it's pretty.
And since we're playing,
and
since we're playing the remastered, when you get back to the overworld looks way better than the in-game cutscenes.
Yeah,
I'm very interested to play the PS3 one.
Yeah,
see how like it probably all looks shoddy compared to these now, so it's not as bad.
Well, I'm pretty sure they also like reworked the shooting in this new remaster.
Oh,
yeah. So like I heard the shooting was worse than the first one.
I want to think about that.
But moving away from gameplay and kind of just focusing on story, we're gonna go into the spoiler section of this discussion. So if you don't want to hear that, just skip forward to whatever
we'll
time.
Put a time code.
Yeah, I'll put a time code.
Some point, somewhere.
Yeah.
Spoilers, baby. Can I talk about the most obvious spoiler thing?
Go for it.
This is the only. I said this earlier that like I was originally like, there's no point of doing a spoiler bit because there isn't much of a plot to this game.
Mm-hmm.
But I wrote it down on my phone just.
Hold on. What do you mean? The game is all plot.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
There's a long section in the middle where you're just doing nothing. You're just doing stuff.
I hope I'm right. Chapter 17, I wrote, "What the fuck, zombies now?" Because it just obviously they slightly build up to it before that, but all of a sudden it's like, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck? And then there's like zombie-oid thing. I thought they were like not zombies. I thought they would explain it. Yeah. Like they're humans who haven't seen sunlight and like forever, so they're like malnourished or whatever, and like they're just freakoids, but they're still humans.
Yeah. Like
who just recently went to go get it. Then they were like, "Oh no, they're Spaniards." He literally says to Sully, he's like, "They're Spaniards." And
they never left.
What? And then they're never like, "Oh yeah, they're zombies." They're just like, "Oh shit, yeah, because we gotta kill them now." It's like, they're zombies now. What?
Yeah.
Like, I mentioned earlier when I was like, it seemed very realistic, and then this happened, and I said, "What?"
So yeah, no. When we were first talking about starting this podcast, I was telling one of my coworkers about it, that we were gonna start off playing Uncharted, and he was just like, "Oh, that game, I played it. I never finished it though. I got to the zombies part." I'm like, "Zombies? Yeah, oh fuck, I forgot that was a thing in that game." Like, I never once like when thinking about Uncharted will I think zombies.
I can bet any money that like none of the other games have something like this.
You would be wrong.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I was genuinely shocked.
But what I think is so funny about this is that it's just dropped in the middle of the game, and then like they're not even after. There's no banter bit where they're like, "So like, is this a thing now?" Like they don't acknowledge how weird this is. It's just normal.
Except that one guy, one of the villains. He's like, "What the fuck?" He's the whole time he's like, "There's fucking something here in the woods, bro."
Yeah.
And then like he's like, "Holy fucking shit!" Like, he's like the only one generally. Well, obviously Drake is too, but like,
yeah,
he's just very like, "What the fuck?"
That's the dude that betrays his boss, right? Navarro.
I want to talk about that in a little bit, but yeah, the zombie shit that was so unexpected.
Yeah.
It's I don't know if you guys seen the Indiana Jones movies.
I haven't seen them. No.
I haven't, but I forgot which one it is. I don't know if it's the second one or the first one. Where there's a bit where it's actually very similar into this game, where the main villain opens the casket and the corpse and he sucks in the air and he turns into a zombie. And one of them, I think it's like Raiders of the Ark or whatever the hell.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, Raiders of the Lost Ark. When they open it and they say don't look at the light because if they do, like it melts their like entire flesh off and it becomes just bones or whatever. And like. It's like Indiana Jones is also like a very realistic movie, but it's also like here are these like
supernatural
elements. So that's why I thought they were going with it. It makes sense, but it goes from like Like, yeah, you die if you open a casket. That's okay. But like zombies, like what? Like that's crazy. Like that's just that jump from like, and then gameplay wise, you can't fight them. You can't like if you try to punch them, automatic counter cut. And my brain was so used to if you're in front of me, I'm gonna naturally punch you because I don't want to waste bullets. I wish I brought this up early in the gameplay bit because I want to talk about the bullet stuff because also that annoyed the shit out of me. The gum limitation was shitty. And the ammo limitation was annoying.
Yes, but I figured you struggled because you were aiming the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. When the zombies came out, I just like I didn't want to.
When the zombies came out, I found a shotgun and I was like shotgun.
Oh no.
I just went.
I didn't care about aiming. So I had the M4 or the AK-47 throughout the most of the game, and I just realized that aiming at these zombies was taking too long. I died.
Something to do backflips.
Yeah.
They just do a backflip for no. They're just like woo, and I was like, what?
But I started free shooting.
Yeah,
and that worked way better because they'll die like
tagging and spraying.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I aimed for headshots most of the game, and actually I got all the headshot trophies.
Oh, I did too.
Oh, it tells
That's
you.
I died.
It compares your headshots to the amount of your friend list. And fun fact, I got more headshots than you.
Did you?
Yeah, by like 2.
But it's probably because you died so much in the combat.
I have the most kills.
I didn't die that. I only died a lot of times during the puzzles.
I should have wrote down the stats that we have for our deaths and all that.
I had
the
most kills.
I tried looking them up.
I died a lot.
I tried looking them up. You can't. It only shows you like
that's annoying.
Once you get a headshot, it'll be like,
there's no like
compared to this. Like I think I overpassed you on everything, and they started comparing me to your brother.
Yeah, your brother kept coming up too.
No, there's a leaderboard. I'll show you guys later. But yeah, Diego, my younger brother, had like a ridiculous number of headshots in this game.
I got the trophy for it. But that's because again I died so many times. I died more in the action than anything else.
I'm surprised.
It's so hard.
I got a trophy in this game, but I don't know why. Because like I already beat the game. I already have all these trophies, the ones that you would get while playing the game. But then I got an extra one. I'm like, what the fuck did I do?
There's more stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck did I do better this time?
there's like half the trophies like you'll get 50 kills with this one gun.
Yeah.
There's guns that you don't get until the end of the game, which is annoying.
Which probably one of those.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I didn't have an issue with those zombies. Like I was just pop them in
plot
the
wise, yes.
Well, yeah, plot wise.
Oh, but gameplay wise, they were kind of fun to kill.
There was a section where like I had to get out of a room or whatever, and I didn't realize. I thought they were just gonna infinitely spawn until I left the room. So I was like, okay, well I'm gonna kill a bunch of them and then go for the door. And then I went for the door and it immediately killed me. Like just there was a cutscene and it showed me getting eaten. So then when I spawned back, I was like, okay, well I guess I gotta figure something else out. And I realized, like, I just had to wait a little longer. Like, I got impatient in one of those fights, I guess. But yeah, is it just me or does it get considerably harder, like, later on in the game? Like,
I thought
Chapter 10.
Which one's Chapter 10?
Chapter 10. I was telling Omar about this before, off recording.
In the void.
I told him, Chapter 10, right? And I told
I remember now.
This will remind you. Stairs.
There's it's like you start the chapter and you're top of a staircase, and you walk down in like in a really big room.
And the point of the end of at the end of the chapter, you go to another set of stairs on the other side.
But that whole chapter is like you're in a room with a bunch of people shooting at you, and that's when you get most of the new guns.
And there's like 3 waves
like
of like enemies,
and like revolvers.
Oh my god!
I actually had fun though.
Fuck that mission.
Is that the one where they detonate the thing behind you? You're with Elena, and they detonate the door behind you, so you can't leave. And there's like a staircase, obviously, like you guys are saying. But it's like the first main combat encounter you have with Navarro's guys, I think.
No, it's a little bit after. It's like right before that, that
weird like puzzle,
that bridge where like there's a door across where you have to shoot it with the lock and then you jump through it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the one I had. That's the one where I didn't know you can make that jump. Because I died and then it starts you from the beginning of the combat. So I became a master at like headshot. That's where I probably got the most headshots because I kept dying and respawning there. Because I jumped and I didn't make it. And I was this close. I'm like, that means it's impossible. I have to do something else. And the hints kept saying, aim and shoot. So I kept shooting everything. And then I'm like, let me if I jump again. And then I ran all the way at the end. And then I ran. And then I jumped. And then I made it. And I'm like, I hate this. Jesus. This is the worst.
Since we're still in the spoiler section, can we talk about that ending segment? I hate that. I hate the way this game
I'll let you talk about that so I can segue to one of my bigger complaints of this game.
Sure.
You go.
So yeah, once you chase down Navarro into that boat, and then you just have to hide behind boxes and wait for him to finish shooting. It's like it reminds me a lot of like an early Crash Bandicoot boss. Like in the first Crash game, there's like a guy named Koala Kong, and it's just like, oh, avoid these boulders that he's chucking at you, and then when he's not doing it, throw something at him. You know what I mean?
It was very easy.
It was just that. It was easy, but it was annoying because like.
You have no patience.
I got really impatient because I just wanted to finish the game because I was already like, all right, like I hate this section because it's kind of lame. I died a lot in that.
I died a lot.
I died once, and then I'm like, I remembered how I played it the first time and how you had to wait for him to finish shooting and then kill the bad guys, and then you go after him.
Oh,
and
I didn't wait.
Yeah, like my second try around, I beat it, so I didn't get that impatient because I just went through it.
Yeah, and then once you get through all this kind of lame shooting section, there's a freaking QTE final boss.
Well, the bit before that is you hiding from it because he hits the gun away from you.
Oh yeah.
So you have to hide behind you have to wait behind a box. He shoots 2 times, then you can move because if you move before he shoots, he'll kill you automatically. It doesn't matter.
I would lump that in with the quick time event.
No, because it's not a quick time event.
No, because you
have to actually move.
As you get close to him, that's when it triggers it.
The QTE.
But like I was saying before that, I think before that, because when you die, it goes automatically from that point.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I got annoyed because when you finish the first quick time event, I didn't know what to do.
Like I said, I beat this one time.
Because you kick the shotgun away from him and he goes to it.
Mm-hmm.
I went toward him. I guess I wasn't fast enough because he killed me immediately. So my second thing, I'm like, let me hide behind a cover, get killed immediately. Another cover, get killed immediately. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I ran into him again. I guess I just timed it better because then I fought him. And I'm like, I had to do this whole dumb hide behind things for like no point of time. But I wrote this specifically for chapter 22. Forcing you to kill everyone before the boss was annoying. Felt like a Lego boss fight. because you can't kill him before. Because once you kill his henchman, he like runs away like whoa. And if you shoot at him, it doesn't matter. And it felt like a Lego game where like you lost 1 heart and now you can't. He's immortal because he only has 3 hearts. So you have to go through these. No, I died. I didn't care. I did not wait. I gunned them down immediately. They came out. I did not wait. I didn't give a shit. Yeah. But I hated that like if you move too far ahead, he automatically kills you. There is no question. I think it's so annoying where like it limits you that way. Because I think in general, you should be able to kill him right there.
And then the boxes break too.
Yeah.
Because you can't wait that long. That's why I have no patience. I'm like, I'm just going to gun them all down until I literally can't. So I think that's where I got a lot of my kills. Because I just kept dying there. And then I was like, I'm going to keep going. But luckily that one is fast though. Like, you can die. I just kept gunning, go, die, go.
Yeah, like you don't have to do this whole like walking section before.
I saved after the first wave, and I thought you would be able to load after that. No, you automatically start from the beginning until you make it to where the thing falls on you.
Yeah,
or whatever. But when we talk about the ending, I want to talk about one of the bigger, complaints I had, and this is in general the game, is the villains, aka no villains, because they really feel like they're villains.
Roman's the villain.
No one's a villain. I feel like no one. I didn't. They have it's Roman, right? The white guy.
Yeah.
He showed up to chapter 2. He showed up and I was like, okay, he's gonna be the main villain. You never see him again
until
like way later in the end. And then you meet this like immigrant guy.
No, Eddie Raja.
That guy.
The pirate.
Yeah. And then I think I wrote when he introduced, I was like, who is he? Why should I care? And then you goof him and then you never see him again for a while. And then you learn they're all working together. And then you learn that this henchman, because you end up learning that he's gonna be the main villain. And again, who are these people? I don't care about any of them. Yeah, these are not villains. I don't understand.
He's the villain for like a chapter.
Yeah.
Once he was like, open the casket, I'm like, oh, he's gonna be the main villain, isn't he?
Yeah.
This is dumb.
The way I see it, there's no like big bad guys in this game. There's no like main antagonist, but there are just like bad people. And they just so happen to be in your way. Like, also, they're not the bad guy.
Nathan Drake, mass murderer. You murder so many people.
What was it? There's a trophy, I think in Uncharted 4, because I was watching my younger brother play Uncharted 4, and he popped a trophy called like Ludonarrative Dissonance, because it's like get 10,000 kills or something. Like it's like a ridiculous amount of kills.
Yeah.
And the whole point is like Drake is totally a happy-go-lucky dude. Yeah. Who doesn't acknowledge that he's a mass murderer.
Yeah, that was the beginning. Elena's like, oh, like we got to report to the police. He's like, well, we're also not legally supposed to be here. AK, I'm gonna murder everyone.
Yeah.
Because it's like when you make it to the island on the plane, I thought you were fighting like the indigenous people of this island. And I'm like, are you just murdering these people? He's like, it is like these people trying to fix it. They're like, what the fuck? These Americans are trying to attack us.
That'd be so fun.
And then obviously you learn later on that they're paid.
They're pirates. Yeah.
Speaking about the plane, so I was scrolling through TikTok
Okay.
while that happened, and the plane blows up, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know what the fuck was happening. I just saw that the plane blew up. I'm like, wait, why? And then you just go, which ties in with what you're saying, that you just go and start shooting people. And I thought the same thing. I'm like, is he just killing?
I was paying
people from
attention.
this
I was still like, are you just killing random people?
Fuck.
Innocent people.
From that section up until like, I don't know, way later in the game, you do like, there's like a 4-hour gap in this game where honestly, like it didn't
Nothing
need to
happens.
happen. Yeah.
Nothing happened. That's when I was like, I don't want to play this anymore.
I got really close to just dropping it. I'm like, guys, I don't think we can do this. I don't know. Like, I mean, the story is fine. I like it as a,
Again, the story picks up halfway in though.
yeah. I don't know. I just wish it was a little more story heavy. And I assume the next game, and the
It's probably better integrated.
yeah, for sure. But
The Sully twist, aka not a twist, because it's obvious.
Yeah.
that he does not gonna die in the beginning because he gets shot.
I want to talk about that later when we talk about the movie.
He got shot, and I was like, obviously, I knew he got shot in the chest. I saw it. I'm like, oh, he's the book saved him.
Yeah.
And obviously, I know Sully's not gonna die in the first game because I know he's in the whole series.
yeah.
So that kind of ruins the twist of Sully's dead. But then when he came back, I'm like, oh, did he betray you? Because I would believe he would.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, he just kind of like
Yeah.
postponing, like he didn't want to die. But from when you meet Sully again, that's when I bleeped out. Hopefully, when you meet Sully from at that point onwards, the puzzles get harder, the gameplay is hard,
I think
but
that's
the
like,
plot gets better.
I think that's like halfway through the game, so that seems kind of reasonable.
Yeah. I don't know. I just the story is there, you know?
What you guys think about the speedboat section?
Oh, let me tell you about the speedboat section. Let me tell you about that speedboat section.
I loved it.
That
Though you did it.
was the part that I just sped through. Like I blanked out and was like, let me just finish this.
I have that in my notes. Sped through the second half of the boat section.
Because I was like, I can't do this.
Literally
anymore.
until like the third bow section, I didn't know Elena could shoot
Oh my god.
So
because they don't tell you.
just-
So I
No,
just
they
kept
do. They
driving.
do tell you.
Do?
Yes.
I just kept driving and I kept dying. I'm like, this is impossible.
what?
So I just
You know
kept
what?
driving.
It's almost like trial and error
This,
till I
this
make
gives
it.
me more confidence that there's a sprint button. Because if you didn't realize that you could shoot with Elena on the speedboat,
There is no sprint
there's
button.
a sprint button.
No, there
I swear to
isn't.
God.
I'll
But-
Google it right now.
Go for it. But yeah, those speedboats. What I hated the most about those speedboat sections is that you had to control both of them at the same time.
That's why I didn't believe you could do it.
It was
I thought
so-
she would do it.
Yeah, I thought so too. And then the moment she's like, it says like aim, press L2 to aim. I was like, oh,
Because I remember hearing
I'm doing
Nathan
both.
like shoot him, and I'm like, oh, she's gonna do it for you.
yeah,
But everyone's useless.
yeah. I was so annoyed with those sections. There was the one where you're going upstream.
Yeah, the upstream. I think it's literally called this. I think that's the chapter's actually called like up the stream.
Yeah, I hate that one. I got halfway through it, and I was already kind of annoyed, and then I died, and I was like,
That's when the bow controls made me pissed. It's just it's so wonky.
yeah.
I kind of want to read every sentence I wrote for every chapter.
Oh, sure.
I only wrote one chapter for every I mean, one sentence for every chapter.
Do it
Sure.
while I look up if
All
there's a
right.
speed
I didn't write the name of the
sprint button.
chapters.
sprint button.
Yeah.
I wrote chapter 1, Jesus controllers suck, also murderer. Chapter 2, wish there was a run button. Chapter 3, I find it difficult to question the U-boat on land because again, like, how is that possible? That like this fucking
Isn't
U-boat
that-
went like all the way up on top of this mountain.
Isn't that on the edge of a waterfall? Like, there's a waterfall, but it's dried out. There.
Is that what it is?
I thought that's what it was.
Because I think I say like I can't really question like his story. Like maybe that is really possible. That's crazy. Like a fucking U-boat just like
Goes down.
and
a
then no one
waterfall.
knows about it or whatever.
Yeah, I assume it just crashes.
And like how some of this paper stuff is still alive in the water. All this old shit. It's like how is it still like legible or whatever? Let's find out if there's
There's
more.
no sprint button, Sam. I'm showing you a
I-
list of all the
yeah,
controls right
I
now and
knew
what
it.
they do.
I knew there was no.
What
sprint
you
button.
said was
I
the sprint
bet.
button is what Omar said.
Yeah, it just changes. That's it.
Yeah.
There's no that game does not have more than one button. Does one thing. So I knew there was no sprint button. I think it's just that your controller just sucks, and it probably just didn't move.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it might have just been a walking speed the whole time, and you just never knew that.
Maybe, I don't know.
So, oh yeah, also chapter 3, R.I.P. Sully. Chapter 4, the villain is a nobody, also massacre. This is where I started to die a lot because that's when actual gameplay started. And I hated it so much. Chapter 5, ammo. That's when I mentioned the ammo and the gun variation sucks because like you just have the shitty pistol, and then you look to have one extra gun, which obviously realistically makes sense, but like it just sucks that you only have one gun and it has low bullets, and then like sometimes they'll bring shotguns. literally almost no shotgun bullets. Like there'll be 2 dudes every like 10 waves they'll have shotguns. So it's like it's no point of even picking up that shotgun. The Magnum, literally, it's not until the end game where you have more Magnum bullets. But you pick it up in the beginning. Like I forgot what chapter when you're in like a tower. You pick it up, 6 bullets. That's it. You never get more bullets ever again. I know, but it's like that's so boring.
I don't know. I kind of like that because it kind of incentivizes you to experiment with the other
There was
weapons.
like one bad guy.
Yeah, but like you get it once.
There was one bad guy that I killed, and he dropped like 10 rounds for it.
That was later,
times
though.
2.
That's like later, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's
Because
the
early on, you get that gun. But say you left with that gun, you can't. You have to wait till another pistol shows up because you're just out of pistol.
Yeah,
Which that's what annoyed me. Because obviously I kept it around because I knew there was no more bullets.
There's pistols all over.
I know, but it's like, imagine you didn't pick them up though. You just be like, I have this empty gun now, and there's like AK or whatever. Let's see. Oh, chapter 6. Holy shit, difficult went up like crazy. Fucking machine guns. Fuck those machine guns. Chapter 7. Who are these villains? Also, I don't care about driving, but fucking when Elena drives, I was like, this is so easy. This is the most monkey brain.
Oh yeah.
You have a grenade launcher, I guess?
I didn't know that till the end.
Really?
Yeah.
That game tells you that. I remember that.
It does tell you.
It does tell you, but I think
they say, someone says like, oh, the big truck.
Yeah, that's when I noticed when they like you can't shoot the truck, and I'm like, what if I press this button and it just do a fucking
yeah, like what is like? Did you just have a grenade launcher all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Infinite bullets, like
it's infinite the entire time. So
that's why I was like, oh,
I didn't even fire the real gun on that section.
Yeah, you could honestly, you could just skip.
That's all
shooting.
I did.
Yeah.
Chapter 8, fuck water levels. Chapter 9, fuck water. Also, I didn't know Elena could shoot. This is when Alex pointed out that I switched out these chapters by accident. So chapter 10 is the most fun since they give you a lot of guns because that's when you have the most guns.
Yeah.
That's when M4 is like the second best gun in the whole thing. Chapter 11, parkour is annoying because I can't tell what's jumpable or not. Chapter 12, was it fun idea, shitty controls? Which was chapter 12?
I have no idea.
I don't even remember. That's how much I didn't care.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can might look it up which one chapter 12 is.
Yeah, I'll look
chapter
it up.
13, I hate the colors in this game.
I think I know what chapter 12 is. The chapel where you have to do a whole bunch of parkour.
Is it?
I think so.
It might be. I don't remember. Chapter 14. And this is another big point. How do these goons keep showing up? like there'll be points where you're in a secret catacomb. How do they get in there?
They're mass produced.
If you were the only one that came in, so now they're in there. I'm like, how did you?
Oh yeah, I hate that.
Get
that
in
doesn't
here.
make sense.
So Eddie, when Eddie shows up, he comes out of the part where you're heading to. I'm like,
yeah,
yo, you're where the treasure is. You're heading in the right direction. Why are you coming back?
And then later on, when they capture Elena, they went through where the zombies were. So how did he not know there were zombies? Because he was surprised by all this. So I was like, you guys had to walk through that area to get there. So how did you not know that there were like zombies in this?
Chapter 12 is the upriver level.
See, okay, that's why I did enjoy it. It is the controllers suck though. If Elena can like control better and you can drive better, it would be fun.
Okay.
But it's just that the controllers are so bad, and like you have to like if you want to aim, you have to stop moving, which is like the worst.
Yeah, it's
thing.
so annoying.
It's like you are driving and shooting, but you're not.
Yeah.
But the control is like that. And again, these damn colors and what can I not jump? What was the point of the numbers? Oh, the one where you're like in the basement, like the catacombs.
Yeah.
And like they're like the numbers 7.
Oh yeah.
5, 2.
Yeah.
What the fuck was the point of those numbers?
Oh wait, did you not know?
Because I just followed what was the obvious path.
You followed those numbers.
Yeah.
I
So,
know,
like,
but it's like
if you see the
who
engraving.
cared?
No, because there's
Obviously, if you went in the other direction, you would just die.
no. There were
Like-
some paths that were like, oh, maybe if I go this way, it'll lead somewhere.
I don't know. That number set was dumb.
Stanley,
I
did you
didn't
also
care.
think the same thing I did when he said the numbers?
The Mason?
Oh.
Numbers, Mason.
Mason, what are the
they mean?
numbers? Yeah, I hated that part.
What do you mean?
What mean they? I don't know. Chapter 17, what the fuck, zombies? Chapter 18, got lost. That's the one where you're like in the fucking like when you learn that Drake like had zombies everywhere. That's when the camera was.
When you had to turn on the generator?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I got lost so
I did get
fast.
lost. I
But
did
it was
get lost.
so fun because those zombies are fun to kill. Because
Yeah.
I had the I think I wrote it.
I think they give you M4.
The next chapter, 19, best gun, the MP40. It was so good. It's like the fucking German gun.
Yeah, it was really
I love
fun.
that because they give you a million bullets.
Yeah.
And I just went to. I got that trophy so fast.
Yeah.
At the 51.
I think that might be the one that I got too.
Chapter 20, Blood Moon. That's when they take away the the El Dorado statue.
Oh, okay.
The moon turned like bloody. Or
You're
whatever. I
right.
thought
That was
cool.
weird. Yeah.
I thought it was kind of cool though. Also, Sully's unkillable because like he's always like I'm pinned down, and I'm like you're like 80. Like how are you alive?
Yeah.
Like, you got shot, and then like I get to fight a million goons, and you're like I had to hold them down. I'm like how?
I have a feeling that's not the only time Sully holds people down.
Whoa, he does say that a couple times.
Yeah.
Chapter 21. This is the funny. I remember this. Why is this not over? That's what I said. And I'm like, this is so much going on. Sully said, I got you covered. Never did. Because in that cutscene with the zombies, he's like, I got you.
yeah,
and you
right.
walk immediately attacked by 3 of them, and he doesn't shoot them. He shoots a different zombie.
I hate that part so much.
Because you have to use the shotgun.
Yeah.
Low bullets. And those just kind of spawn out of nowhere. So it's like, I got you, dog. And he does not help
See,
you.
what I did is I walked towards the stairs, and when they started following me, I guided them back towards Sully, and that's when he started shooting.
See,
Really?
that's too. That's like I try to save Elena. The game's supposed to be like save Elena, so you kind of have to like your brain is like go full speed.
So the first 2 times I did it, I was just going through, but I kept dying because I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And I'm like, just Sully, how about you kill him?
Yeah, I thought it was so funny. He was like, I got you, and never did. Like he killed maybe 1. Also, I didn't write it down, but how did he leave? How did he escape? Because there was like 30 million zombies, and he left alone on a boat and made it to find you guys. Like how the fuck?
It's that mustache.
That's what I
He's
wrote.
unkillable.
That's what I wrote. He's unkillable.
It's the mustache.
Because like he survived all of that somehow, and he was like, I made it. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
crazy. I could maybe make Drake could do it, but Drake had people. Like he was never alone.
So, there was also a movie that came out recently, which I haven't seen yet.
You haven't?
He said he hasn't.
Oh.
But you can talk about spoilers because I don't care about them.
Okay,
but yeah,
I didn't write
we-
notes for it because I technically watched the
It
movie.
was a good movie.
So I watched the movie before I beat the game,
okay.
and obviously you already beat the
Yeah,
game
yeah.
beforehand, so you watched the movie.
So me,
I'm interested what you think.
So me knowing what happens in the game between the movie, there's this so obviously the movie is like, oh, you can't
Spoilers for the movie.
You can't trust Sully. Sully will backstab you every chance he gets.
Yeah, they say it like a million times.
Yeah. So in the game,
Everyone's just like, you don't got to Sully.
in the game, like when you first meet, when you find out that Sully's alive, Nate's like, Sully's not a backstabber. and I'm just like, no, because I played the games first, so I'm like, yeah, no, this doesn't line up with Sully. Like I've been with him like 4 games. He's always been
Mark Wahlberg's the
Yeah.
one you can't trust.
Oh, Mark Wahlberg, why were you in jail?
What were you doing?
But yeah. So I'm just like that. They clearly didn't write Sully's character right in the movie, but it was still enjoyable.
Okay.
Tom Holland needs to find out how to get a deeper voice. That's my only problem with his Nathan Drake.
Okay.
My thoughts on the movie was I didn't play the game, so I had nothing to base this off of. So I was that's why I was surprised about the like Francis Drake thing, because they don't really talk about. They say it once in the movie. There's like your ancestor is he's the one who did this or whatever. And that was it. They never say anything again.
Yeah.
But the whole game, the first game is literally all about you finding your ancestor. We'll quick back to the game real quick. I thought it was funny when he finds a dead body. Yeah. He's like, he was a loser. He just died here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a natural thing. Like I can imagine most explorers just happen to die. Like,
Yeah.
Like I thought I was funny. I was just like, oh, he's dead. He's a fucking loser. He's a nobody.
And he left the ring there.
Yeah, he was like, I can't believe he was like, fuck this. And I was like,
And
they
then
could've just
he
sold that,
found out
at
he
least.
was protecting the world, and he's just like, fuck.
And then Elena's like, I found
Yeah.
your ring.
oh yeah.
And I was like, wow, what a good person.
What a
Yeah.
good woman.
And speaking of her, she's not in the movie.
She's
at
not.
all. No,
At all.
I didn't know that because I didn't know Elena at all.
But the end credit scene does tease the second game, and she is a much bigger. She has a much bigger part in the second.
I
game.
assume so.
So there is an after credit scene for this
Yes.
movie.
Yeah. Well, I say after credits. It's before the credits.
It's like a mid credits thing.
no, it's like a movie ends and then that happens and then the
Honestly,
credits.
it might
start.
be the best part because you get the mustache.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Because Sully in that. So the issue I imagine people would have, and I kind of do, is that Drake and Sully are young in the movies, and I knew in the game Sully was old as hell, and I assumed Drake was an adult. So it's kind of weird that Drake, the Tom Holland Drake, they never say his age. I just feel like he's like barely 20
Yeah,
because he looks that age, obviously.
like
'cause
I
of Tom
said,
is,
like
and his voice.
he looks the part, he acts the part. He just needs a deeper voice.
Does he act the part? Like, is he a convincing
I feel
Nathan Drake?
I could see Nathan Drake. It's just that
He seems like a young Nathan
Yeah.
Drake. That's the issue.
his voice makes him feel really young.
Okay.
Because I remember when he got casted a long time ago, they literally said young Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, is he gonna be like because I think in the fourth one and third one,
Yeah.
there's like a bit where you just play as Drake and Sam as when they're younger.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's 4.
And so I was like, oh, maybe it'll be like that. Like you'll be like, oh, here's when they're kids,
Yeah.
and then they'll cast like
A real
Chris
person.
Pratt, Chris Pine, like someone of those, like an adult, like a very obvious an adult who's no, he's like, it looks like he's barely out of like college, but he's just as smart as like current Nathan Drake. Like there's a bit where he literally like blah 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 blah, like he knows everything or whatever. I thought that was funny in the bar. Where he's like, that drink was made in or whatever. And then like later on he's with a girl and he's like,
About
the
the
cigarette was made in. And she's like, really? He's like, no, I just made that
the
up.
the
or
funny
whatever.
part was like the dude's last name, the name he made up, he was like Sigeti.
Yeah, like he was like making a bit. I'm like, if he knew that for real, he's a loser.
Like,
but he
the-
actually didn't. I was like,
He's like
okay,
the
good.
cigarette name comes from his last name, Sigeti.
I think for the movie, for what they did, it makes sense because the movie they show Sam, which he's introduced later in the games, and I think that's fine because I think the movie. I don't again because I watched it first. I don't feel as like. I think it's fine that it's not exactly like the games.
Well, the movie's an amalgam of all 4 games in my eyes because there's stuff that they take out from each game, which I think the second one might do too. This one took mainly stuff from Uncharted 1 and Drake's Deception, which I think is the third one, right?
Yeah.
But it has some stuff from 2 and 4. But what I think they should probably do for the second one is take mostly stuff from the second and fourth game, as because we did see in the end credit scene that Nate had the exact same attire as he did in the second game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought. I'm not gonna lie. Mark Wahlberg's really good.
Was he?
I actually think he was pretty good
As a Sully or as Mark Wahlberg?
He was
as Mark Wahlberg.
yes, yeah. 'Cause he's not Sully.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Now that I've played Sully, he's not Sully.
He's not
Okay.
Sully.
But he's definitely fun.
I feel like he can be Sully though. That this end credit scene really turned me around on Mark Wahlberg.
Here, if you didn't call this movie Uncharted and called it something else,
Oh, it would have been a phenomenal movie.
I wouldn't say that.
I think so.
if
I
it
mean,
was,
it's still okay.
if this movie was just Dude Raider, right?
Perfect.
Would it have been?
Again, because I
Fine.
did not watch, I didn't play the games. That's what the movie was to me. It
If
was
this-
not connected to the
If this
games.
movie was called Dude Raider, I probably wouldn't have seen it.
I think,
That's
well,
true.
obviously, if it's called Tomb Raider. I think
Well, any other name.
if it wasn't Uncharted, obviously it would just be a generic action thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still think it's a good, because if I enjoyed it
Yeah.
and I never played these games and I know
Yeah.
nothing about the plot, because again I was surprised with the first game, like oh, this has nothing to do with the movies.
Mm-hmm.
My cousin told me who he beat all the games. He was like, this is this or whatever. But I think Tom Holland, I think he does most of the action stuff, so it looks really good. Because there's some CGI bits and it looks a little shoddy
Yes.
at best. And then there's a villain in that. Ironically enough, he gets killed. That's like the only plot twist in the movie.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't remember the villain in the
Wow.
movie.
It's Antonio Banderas.
Oh yes, it is.
He gets killed midway. and-
Gets killed midway.
Nice.
just
and then like the woman
Roman.
becomes the.
Oh, they
main
tease
villain.
Roman at the end of the second. Of the
Did
first
they?
movie too, yeah.
Really?
The dude that you remember when Sully shows up with the gun and all that.
That's
shit?
that's
He's
supposed to
just,
be
he's
him.
just like my employer will be disappointed. I will make sure Roman knows about
Oh yeah, you're
Ah,
right. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think is a good movie.
this. Can we talk about the cameo?
Like
Sure.
Nolan North is in it.
Oh, is it?
Yes,
Nolan
he is.
North does show up.
It's after the plane scene.
yeah.
I figured he would be in it at
Yeah,
some point.
Tom Holland's just like, oh, we just jumped out of a plane, and then Nolan North, because he's the
He sounds
original.
Oh, I
like-
didn't know he sounded like Nathan.
He's
Drake.
the original Nathan Drake. He's just like, oh,
I did
that
too.
once.
Yeah, I did that once. And then fucking Tom Holland's like, what?
Nice.
There's a bit. It's after that scene when they're in the hotel together, him with Chloe, and they have to solve the puzzle. I was like, are they gonna fuck? Because they're in the hotel, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Tom Holland has no shirt on. So it's like his 8-pack is showing, and then
Yeah.
Chloe, the girl of the movie, she walks out with a bathrobe and like her like shoulders showing.
Oh.
And I was like, are they gonna fuck? Like, I was like, why are they just like super like no shirt on, bathrobe about to fall off? They're gonna fuck, and they're like puzzle solving time, and then they puzzle solve together until she gets sleepy and sleeps.
See, I didn't make that connection because every time Tom Holland was shirtless in this movie, my sister was sitting there right next to me, so I just started
Like
like,
ovulating.
I just started like elbowing her, like, huh? You like that?
Huh?
Look
You
at
were
Tom
like-
Holland.
Hey, you feeling something?
Look, abs.
You're like, why is a floor wedge?
Jeez.
Because there's another, I think the beginning of the movie where he does a workout thing. You know,
Yeah.
all action movies have to have like
Oh
their-
my gosh.
like him working out. And again, I appreciate abs. I love like men physique. I'm not gonna lie. So that was the only reason I enjoyed it. But like I don't care for it. But that bit where like I thought they were gonna fuck, I thought was really funny. And I like how she slept, and he just like watched her for a bit.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause he saw the puzzle, but he kept looking at her, and I'm like,
Well, he was thinking about how.
yeah, he was
might
like,
betray him.
fuck her up. And I was like, if I was her, why would you sleep?
Yeah, that's
Like,
weird.
because the whole point is that she betrays them.
The whole point of this movie is people.
Betraying each other. So why would you trust him if you already betrayed him before this point of the movie?
Yeah, I don't know.
There's one meme. You know the meme where like there's people like in a chapel and then some person's like looking.
Oh, like
straight
shooting?
forward,
Yeah, I've seen
and
that
someone's
one.
shooting them, and then someone's shooting them, and there's one person.
Oh,
with
yeah,
a
yeah,
spider.
yeah.
There was one scene of the movie that reminded me of that where they like just betrayed each other one by one.
Oh my god.
Yeah, a lot of the plot is just like, I betrayed you, you betrayed
No,
me.
but like the first time they meet Chloe, she's like, "Oh, she betrayed me," and fucking Sully's like, "I betrayed her."
Oh my god.
Also, but it seemed like Mark Wahlberg fucked every girl in this movie. Because every time Mark Wahlberg introduced a girl, he's like, don't trust her, it's blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, did you fuck her? Because he's so young.
Yeah.
You could believe he would fuck all these women.
Well, I think the first time they did that was
with was his ex-girlfriend or
no,
whatever.
I think it was implying that she killed Sam because she did.
No, well, but like he also was like, because there was a bit later on, like, oh, you missed this, right? When, like,
Yeah,
she was doing like,
I guess so.
they fucked.
But I think the reason she told
Yeah.
Nate was because she killed Sam.
But like, even when Chloe, she's like, don't trust her, blah, blah, blah. He might backstab her. And I'm like, yo, I feel like he fucked her too. Like, I think he just fucked every girl.
Chloe
in
looks
this
like
movie.
she's 12 in this movie.
that's
though.
great.
So is Sam or Tom or whatever.
Yes,
That's,
so like you saying that Sully probably fucked her.
I'm gonna put it past him.
You know what?
This is Mark we're talking about.
A young Sully probably would be like that.
Yeah, he would. That's what I'm saying.
So I'm fine with that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
So go back to the game.
Yeah, go back to the game.
Would you? No, actually, would you? What would you say is better, the movie or the game?
Oh,
Because I was very disappointed in the game.
I mean, I love the game. I know the whole story from.
Maybe that's why. What about you, Sam? I guess obviously you haven't seen the movie.
Because the games clearly start off with a young Nate and up like Uncharted 4's end. He's
Old man Drake.
He is old man Drake. You meet Cassie Drake. I'll let you figure out who that is on your own.
I wonder.
Oh boy, who's that?
Her name was Cassie, right?
I think so. Yeah.
think it
What a
was-
fan.
I think it was
Just
Cassie
forgot.
Drake. See, now I gotta.
All right,
look
let's
that up. Now I gotta check.
Fact check himself.
Yeah. Overall, Omar, did you think it was worth your time to play this game?
No,
What?
I think I regret it.
I was right. It is Cassie Drake.
Nice.
A fake person I'll never meet.
Why do you regret it?
I'll say this though. If we didn't do this, I would never want to play this game.
Really?
Did you
And-
enjoy your time with it?
No. But this, even though I had this really bad experience, I want to play the second one
Yeah.
Okay.
because I like these characters.
And that's the point of this podcast, right?
Is that? Well, no, yeah, but I'm saying like the game is still disappointing though. Like I wasn't expecting
Yeah.
like a 10 out of 10, like this incredible like masterpiece because it's the first game.
Mm-hmm.
But man, the janky controllers, half the game is literally just non-existent because there's nothing going on except for you just killing like people and murder basically, and like Sully is gone for half the thing, and then Elena's gone half the thing, so it's like there's not enough of these characters. Where if I knew there was more to these games, I'm like, okay, it's fine because there's more games. But if this game, if this game I played as it came out,
If it flopped and
I would have been like, this game sucks, and I now would have wanted to play
Yeah.
more. But because of its current times, I know there are 3 more games after this, and there's a spin-off or whatever. That's the other game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, there's obviously gonna be better, and I know because everyone says Uncharted is a great game series.
Mm-hmm.
But if I play this in 2007, say I'm my age, and I play this in 2007, I would be like, I don't want to play the next game. I would be done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the game came out, I was 8 when this game came out. I would probably be worse as an 8-year-old. And I would have been like, this game sucks. I probably watched my brother play
Yeah,
it.
same. Up to like, I think when I was 8, I was only playing Pokemon.
Yeah, like, I was
Nothing
playing like
else.
Nintendo games.
Yeah.
So would you say, Omar, that if somebody hasn't played this game but is interested in playing it, should they just watch like a one of those cutscene
Recaps?
videos or whatever,
Playthrough.
like a playthrough, or would you recommend somebody actually play this game if they're interested in the series? If they come out of the Uncharted movie and go, "Man, that was good, but I've heard the games are better."
Or they listen to this podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
And they never did it. I would say yes. Because I want people to experience this shitty game. No, I want them to. I'm not half lying. Like the ones experience this, because I can imagine it feels so much better. So when you play like the 4th one, you're like, wow, the gameplay is better, the story, the blah blah blah, XXX, whatever, everything is better. It's like obviously older games are gonna be shittier most of the time, But like when you kind of like you're like you get to see like this is the roots. This is like the origin, and it's nice to see the origin to see how much something has improved. It's like your own self, you know what I mean? Like you're like, oh, last year I was this, and this, and now look at me now. Like I wouldn't relive that year, but I wouldn't look at it and be like, oh, I did do that or whatever. So like I feel like if you really want to play Uncharted, if you're one of those people who are like indifferent, like I kind of want to play it, I would recommend skipping this one because it's janky. You probably would hate the game if you're anything like us, like, and you not want to play more of it.
I had a good time with it.
Well, you did, but you already enjoyed the whole series.
Yeah.
Though. Like you already have that like in your brain, as opposed to me and Sam. And this is our first time playing this.
I will say though, I would tell somebody to play this game. Honestly, I think you've got a great point that it's great to see the evolution of it, but I don't think this game is a bad game to play in 2022. You know, like even though it's so old, it still kind of holds up. I think part of it comes from like what your background of gameplay typically is. If you're not into third person shooters,
I have played a lot.
or
Though.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and I've played those games of that era too.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that like, it's different because a lot of the third person games I play, these games are very like, you have to follow this narrow path, and do these like
specific things.
And most of the third persons I've played are very like, you kind of have like open space and just kind of like do whatever you want. Like it doesn't force you to do the things that the game wants you to do, and that's when you see the glaring like flaws, because you're forced to play this like janky game. What if you have a free roaming game, you're not forced to like see the shitty gameplay, because like you kind of get to like choose to do it or not, because you're playing how you want to play it.
Yeah.
It's like the game is like, you have to walk this way, and it's like if it's a shitty path, you're gonna see it's a shitty path.
Yeah.
But the game is like you have 10 ways, and like 8 of them are shitty. You might find that like perfect one. Or
I feel
whatever.
like that's more modern games that do that. So
Yeah.
you probably won't get that from any 2007 game.
No.
I mean, I don't know when like Dead Rising came out,
I think that's like 2009, maybe.
and I wouldn't say that's that far off from
I mean,
2007.
This was like one of those first games in that type of genre. It's the first motion cap game.
It's the first one that used a lot.
Well, I don't have an issue with like their character. I mean, it looks kind of funny.
Like it's a nice start.
Like I've played Halo. Oh, that's first person, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's it called? I don't know when Gears of War came out. I think it might have been.
I think
later.
around that time. But
Was it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's a skip. I think you should play this game if you're interested at all in this story.
Yeah, if you're interested, yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if you're just kind of curious and you don't want to pay $20 for it, maybe just watch a YouTube video. That's what I would say.
Well, you still have to pay $20 to beat the first 2 and the third one, anyways.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to like. I doubt people are gonna be like skip the second and third one. I can't imagine people think that.
Yeah. Alex.
Well,
The expert.
I'd say I would recommend it to people just because I know what's in store once they get past Uncharted 1. They're in for greatness, coming from small beginnings. Is that the quote?
Yeah, I think it is greatness from small beginnings.
That's Nathan Drake himself.
Yes, sir.
Small beginnings out to being a epic guy later on. That was also a mass murderer, by the way. I still can't believe he's just like he just kills so many. And Elena also, who like works in like TV.
She's a journalist. Yeah.
And she just witnessed all of this. Like,
She contributed.
Yeah. Also, that's another point I like to bring up before. She's just I'll just kill people too.
I think she got put in a situation where it's kill or be killed, so that's why it's okay.
Nah, there were some points where she kind of seemed like she was memeing around, like she was having fun.
First time you meet up with her after, Nate ditches her. He's like, you know how to use this?
She was
said,
like,
yes.
shit.
She's like, it's just like using a camera, point and shoot.
Yeah, she was pretty like, yeah, okay. If it was like it was a survival of the fittest, she would have been like, oh man, I don't know. She was like, yeah, point and shoot, right? And I was like, oh, jeez. Or that bit where he's like, stay here, don't move. I'm gonna go do this, and then she shows up anyway. It's like, dude, like she definitely killed people.
She was looking for it.
She chose to move and leave
Yeah.
or whatever. I think she
felt no remorse.
she was a pretty quick killer. I like how her camera broke.
Yeah.
And she was like, the camera, and I'm like, damn, dude,
It's so
like
funny
your
'cause, like,
life.
Like throughout the whole game, you just see her recording random shit.
I was like, if I was Nathan, I would have been like, thank God, because I said and did a lot of shit on camera, and
Yeah, that would
could have been
awful.
incriminating.
Yeah.
On Elena too.
Yeah.
So I don't. Yeah, but fucking overall, It's
a recommend.
Yeah,
It's a recommend. Not the best though. Don't expect greatness out of this.
Yeah,
It's a small beginning.
yeah, that's all it is.
To a greater narrative.
And moving on from that,
Now we have to actually like
Pick our game for next month.
because we did this because of the movie. Now there are no more movies. Movies
Yeah.
don't exist after this point.
Alex and Omar have compiled a list.
So does Sam. Don't
I-
make it sound like you didn't do anything.
You're right. I put
All
some
three of us.
I put some games up for consideration, but because I kind of spearheaded this whole Uncharted idea, my game's not in the running, right?
You're choosing that.
I'm saying-
I'd say yes.
I would say my game shouldn't be
Alex,
in the
fuck
running.
Sam.
I'd say no.
There
I'd
should
say
be-
Sam should be included.
You think I should be included?
I think so too. I think that's fucked up to
Yeah,
be like,
alright,
no,
alright.
like that's unfair.
I think I kind of brought up the whole Uncharted thing too because
We were talking
See,
about,
like,
talking about the movie.
Like my personal dark heart thoughts in my brain, I'm like, I want to play my games, but I still think it's unfair.
Okay,
that
that's
you
fine.
are like you lose a month
Okay.
because you. Because again, I think all of us were like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, it wasn't like, I don't know. Like we're all like, yeah. You
Okay.
know?
Should we
So now it's all three of us.
No, I mean I've got a random number generator already pulled up, and there's 21 games on our list. So I'm just gonna. Who wants to do the honors?
Wait, shouldn't we just do
What?
1, 2, 3?
Oh,
to
so then-
pick-
oh,
So
should we pick like from whose list and then from there, or
We should pick whose list we're gonna choose from.
okay?
So again, if we do 21 games, it's not evenly distributed. 7, 7, 7. It's uneven. Or
Yeah,
whatever. So
yeah.
it'd be 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
So I'm
then-
1 because I'm the first on the list, and it's Alex is 2, and then you're 3.
Okay. So how about you do the honors of pressing the generate button,
Oh man, I could lie.
and then no, show me the screen.
No, I'm a lie. No, okay. Trust me. Trust me. All right. So
You're one.
1, me.
I think the way Sam was doing it was fine. Just pick 1 out of 21.
No, I just said why not. Cut the shut up. I'm cutting this bit out. Back to the bus. All right. So I'm 1. Alex is 2. Sam is 3. I'm gonna push the generate button. Wait, did I push it? No, I did. Okay. It's 2. So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
it's,
It's
it's
one of my
Alex.
games.
One of my games.
Oh, it's Alex.
Alex.
That's one of my games.
Alex is number 2.
Get ready
Okay.
for Kingdom Hearts next
No.
month.
Kingdom Hearts is the
Alright,
worst.
Alex, you have 2, 4, 6 games in your list. So now we're gonna generate between 1 and 6.
I swear, if the shitty game I have to
Alright,
purchase.
and we're gonna click it.
3,
I
2,
hope
1,
it-
5.
I hope it's Kenna.
Which
it Kenna?
is Resident Evil 3.
Okay, no.
I'm fine with that.
because I feel like we should play Resident Evil 1.
Yeah, we should probably
first.
play the first Resident
Let's do
Evil.
the first one then.
All right, yeah. Next month,
Is
Resident Evil.
Resi Evil remastered.
the
Yes.
remake.
Not the original.
I mean, you can play whatever. They're the same game.
I think you should play the remake.
Well, no matter what,
remaster.
I'm going to play the remake because I do not own.
I have the remaster. They gave it to us on PS Plus.
Yeah, it was
I-
a PS Plus game.
No, I'm saying I don't own like original Resi, and any other facet.
Yeah,
of
no,
the
me
Yeah.
game.
neither.
So I
So-
kind of have to play the. You can.
Yeah, I've played it before, but that was like 2 or 3 years ago now.
Yeah,
I feel like you should be the one to
haven't
play
played
the,
it, but I always want to.
the original one
I do have
because you
it.
own them.
I do own. My younger brother did buy the long box, like original PS1 copy. You know what? Maybe I'll play that one. I'll play through that one, and I'll play a little bit of the remake.
Because I have to play the remake. I have
I
no
have to
choice.
too.
I do not own the other
Yeah.
ones, and I don't want to purchase those
But for next month,
expensive games.
yeah, for next month we'll go through and we'll have Resident Evil the
Resident Evil.
remake remaster on PS4. I think it's
Leon's
on
not in the
Xbox.
first one, is he?
No,
Damn it!
it's on the remake remaster is on PS4.
I just
Xbox.
told you got it for free, didn't you?
Yeah, if you have it on PS Plus, but I'm
Yeah.
just letting people know
Well,
like
people-
if they don't want to look it up.
okay.
Yeah. Also, Uncharted is only on PS.
Yeah, it's PlayStation exclusive.
Because we're PlayStation.
But Resident Evil.
Wow, we just brought Alex back from prison,
Yeah.
and now we're just saying that Resident Evil.
bleep that out.
I will bleep that out. Don't worry about that.
Resident Evil.
Anyways, Resident Evil is on PS4, Xbox consoles. I think it's on the Nintendo Switch, PC probably,
everywhere.
and anywhere. So
Kid friendly for all kids.
go
sizes.
grab it. Go and wait for our episode at the end of the March, right? January, February, March, and we'll have that
Forgot one
ready to
month.
go. If you have any comments for us, any questions, leave it in this
Comment section.
comment section.
That burp was a description of how epic this was.
And if you want to contact us directly, we have a Twitter account at BB Club.
My mailing address. No, I'm just
No, I think we have a TikTok, but I'm not sure how that's gonna work. I don't know if I'm gonna use it at all. We'll see what happens. But we have all these socials.
Do you want to plug your own social medias, your own personal ones, or do you not want to be
No.
associated?
No.
Your own selves.
You have to
with this
track
world.
me down to do this. If you want to DM me, you gotta track me down.
I have.
If any of you are single ladies, I have no issue you contacting me through letters because I do not use social media.
Just gotta find out his address.
Alrighty, and with that, I think that's a wrap, fellas. I think it's done for the first episode. Thank you so much for listening.
See you guys next month.
See ya.
Yeah, we'll never see each other. We're purposely gonna avoid each other until we have to come back to my basement.
For sure, because I don't like it here. It's cool.
I don't like you
love it.
guys in here. This is my jerk off chambers.
Yo, what's that stain on the floor?
Oh shit, my semen.